Life is filled with pressure. The pressure to perform, to succeed, to meet expectations, to make money, to achieve goals, to look good, to sound smart, and to not fail. Every day, we wake up into a world that pushes and pulls us in 1,000 directions. And in this whirlwind, people are cracking, breaking, quitting. Not because they're weak, but because they lack one thing, a strong philosophy. Now, what is philosophy? It's not just something taught in universities or written by long-dead thinkers in old books. Your philosophy is simply your way of thinking. It's your framework for interpreting the world, making decisions, and responding to challenges. It's your inner compass. And here's the key: pressure doesn't break people. Faulty philosophies do. If your philosophy is weak, every pressure will feel unbearable. But if your philosophy is strong, even the heaviest burden can be carried with grace. In this series, we're going to shift your thinking. We're going to replace panic with purpose. We'll replace doubt with discipline. We'll elevate you above the noise, not by removing pressure, but by transforming how you face it. This is the beginning of your mental revolution. Section 1. The world is not the problem. Your response is, you don't control the weather. You don't control the economy. You don't control traffic, other people's opinions, or global events. But what you do control is your philosophy, your response mechanism. Jim Rohn once said, "It's not what happens that determines the quality of your life. It's what you do about it." That's philosophy in action. Two people can go through the same pressure-filled situation. One collapses, the other grows stronger. What's the difference? Not genetics, not luck, not even education. It's philosophy. One sees the pressure as punishment. The other sees it as preparation. Your goal is not to eliminate pressure. That's a fantasy. Your goal is to build a mindset that thrives despite the pressure. Section 2A. The foundation of a strong philosophy. Let's talk about the foundation. A strong philosophy has 3 pillars: clarity of values, know what you stand for. When you're clear on your values, decisions become easier, and outside pressure loses its grip. Ownership mentality pressure becomes unbearable when we feel like victims. A strong philosophy says, I take full responsibility. Ownership gives you power. Victimhood steals it. Long-term vision. Most pressure comes from short-term thinking. I need this now. What if I don't make it by next month? But if you have a 10-year vision, today's struggle is just a brick in the foundation. Philosophy helps you zoom out and see the big picture. When these 3 elements form your inner world, outer pressure loses its sting. Section 3's in real world pressure vis. Self-inflicted pressure now. Let's separate reality from illusion. There's real world pressure: bills, deadlines, obligations, responsibilities. These are real. But then there's self-inflicted pressure, born from comparison, perfectionism, fear of judgment, or false timelines. You're not being crushed by responsibilities. You're being crushed by your interpretation of those responsibilities. A weak philosophy turns everyday challenges into overwhelming monsters. A strong philosophy shrinks the monsters and reminds you, this is just part of the path. The worst pressure is not what the world puts on you. It's the pressure you secretly put on yourself by trying to meet invisible standards no one even cares about. Let go of the unnecessary weight. Section 4 saying, pressure is a privilege. If you understand it, it sounds counterintuitive, but pressure is a sign of responsibility. It means you're trusted with something important. It means you matter. The athlete feels pressure because the game counts. The entrepreneur feels pressure because the mission matters. The parent feels pressure because they care deeply. You're not under pressure because you're failing. You're under pressure because you're playing the game. But here's the secret: the game doesn't get easier. You get wiser. When you embrace pressure as a teacher instead of a tormentor, you transform it from a threat into a training ground. A strong philosophy allows you to stand in the fire and say, this isn't here to destroy me. It's here to shape me. Section 5. How to build a pressure-proof mindset. Let's get practical. How do you actually build a philosophy that overpowers pressure? 1. Daily self-reflection. Spend 10 minutes each day asking, what did I face today? How did I respond? What can I do better tomorrow? Reflection sharpens your thinking. It strengthens your philosophy too. Read philosophy, not just productivity. Success isn't just about hacks and habits. It's about how you think. Read the Stoics. Read Jim Rohn. Read Epictetus. Study Seneca. Understand how great minds handled life. Their philosophy was bulletproof. 3. Surround yourself with philosophical thinkers. Spend time with people who think, not just react. Pressure is contagious, but so is clarity. Make sure you're infected by the right mindset. 4. Develop a core set of beliefs. Write down your non-negotiables. For example, I respond, I don't react. Pressure is feedback, not failure. Discomfort is the price of growth. Make your beliefs visible. Recite them. Live by them. Philosophy isn't for the shelf. It's for the battlefield. Section 6A, Redefining Strength. We often think strength means not feeling anything. But true strength is feeling everything and still choosing to act with wisdom. You're allowed to feel pressure. You're allowed to feel overwhelmed. But with the right philosophy, you won't stay there. Most people try to escape pressure. You will learn to leverage it. Most people avoid hard conversations. You will learn to lead them. Most people run when things get tough. You will learn to stand still and think clearly. Why? Because you've chosen philosophy over pressure. Section 7A, The Pressure of Modern Life. Let's be honest, modern life is a pressure cooker. Social media, rapid change, financial instability, identity confusion, it's everywhere. You're expected to have a six-figure income, a perfect body, deep relationships, unshakable confidence, and peace of mind, all by the age of 25. That's insane. Philosophy is your shield. It helps you disconnect from the madness and reconnect with what truly matters. You don't need to keep up with everything. You need to keep aligned with your core. Philosophy reminds you, not everything requires your energy. Not every voice deserves your attention. Not every battle is yours to fight. Section 8, Pressure is temporary. Philosophy is permanent. Pressure comes in waves. Some days are calm. Some days are storms. That's life. But philosophy, your way of thinking, can remain steady. It becomes your anchor. While others are tossed around by circumstances, you are grounded by wisdom. A weak mind reacts. A strong mind reflects. And when your philosophy is rooted in timeless truths, no pressure can uproot you. Section 9, Your inner world creates your outer world. Ultimately, everything you see in your life, your relationships, your career, your habits, is a result of your inner philosophy. Change your thinking, and you change your trajectory. Pressure only dominates people who have never questioned their beliefs. Once you develop the ability to pause, reflect, and act from principle instead of panic, you become unstoppable. You become the kind of person who is calm in chaos, focused in distraction, courageous in uncertainty, because you live by a code, not by pressure. Closing thoughts, this is just the beginning. This was part 1 of your journey. You've started to see the importance of philosophy. You've begun to understand that pressure is not the enemy. Poor thinking is. In the next part, we'll go even deeper. We'll explore how to turn adversity into advantage. We'll examine how pressure can polish you, not punish you, if your mindset is right. But for now, remember this, you don't rise to the level of your pressure. You rise to the level of your philosophy. So keep building it. Strengthen it daily. And soon, no pressure will be able to touch your peace. Here's a truth that most people never learn. Adversity is information. Pressure is a signal. Pain is a messenger. But most people never listen. They just react, complain, blame, quit. What separates the masters from the mediocre is that the masters have trained their minds to turn every adversity into advantage. Not because they were born special, but because they built a philosophy of growth. Let's explore how you can do the same. Section 1, and the gift hidden in adversity. Every pressure-filled situation holds within it a potential gift. A lesson, a strength, a new direction, or a wake-up call. But here's the key. The gift is not automatic. It only reveals itself to those who search for it. Pain is a teacher, not a punishment. But most people refuse to sit in the classroom. They want out. Fast. They don't ask, what is this trying to teach me? They ask, why is this happening to me? That question, why me, is the language of victims. A powerful philosophy replaces it with, what now? Adversity becomes an advantage the moment you stop resisting and start learning. Section 2, High pressure builds capacity. Let's go deeper. You don't become strong by avoiding pressure. You become strong by enduring it, wisely. Think of your mind like a muscle. The more resistance it experiences, paired with the right recovery and reflection, the more it grows. So many people want to grow without pressure, succeed without stress, achieve without challenge. But it doesn't work that way. In life, pressure is the price of greatness. Your philosophy must be this: every pressure is an opportunity to increase my capacity. The task doesn't get easier. You get stronger. The pain doesn't disappear. You become wiser. And over time, the pressure that once crushed you becomes the pressure you carry with ease. Section 3A, don't waste your adversity. Here's the real tragedy. People go through adversity and learn nothing. They suffer. They cry. They complain. And then they repeat the same patterns. Adversity is only valuable when it changes you. So how do you avoid wasting it? You reflect. You write. You ask yourself, what triggered this situation? What false belief did this challenge expose in me? What can I change going forward? What strength did I develop by surviving this? Pressure is an expensive teacher. Don't waste the tuition by ignoring the lesson. Section 40. Redefining failure. Most people are paralyzed by the pressure of not failing. They'll do anything to avoid embarrassment, rejection, or imperfection. But the strongest philosophies embrace failure, not recklessly, but wisely. Why? Because failure is feedback, it's direction, it's clarity. It tells you what doesn't work, what you're missing, where your next opportunity lies. Jim Rohn said, "You must learn to handle the winters." Well, sometimes winter is losing a job. Sometimes it's getting rejected. Sometimes it's seeing your plans collapse. But failure only wins if your philosophy turns inward and says, "I am the failure." Instead, you must say, "I faced failure, and now I know better." The difference between success and collapse is how you interpret failure. Section 50. Don't let pressure redefine you. Be careful. Pressure wants to change your identity. When life presses you, it whispers, "You're not good enough. You'll never make it. This is too hard. Maybe you're not meant for this." If you accept those whispers, you build your philosophy around weakness. Instead, say, "This is testing me, not defining me. I'm under pressure because I'm growing. This is my gym, my training ground." You are not your worst day. You are not your lowest performance. You are not your current challenge. You are the person becoming stronger through it. Never let pressure write your identity. Use your philosophy to write it yourself. Section 60. Adversity clarifies priorities. When pressure hits, one thing becomes crystal clear: what truly matters. Pressure strips away the excess. It reveals what you've been holding on to that no longer serves you. Suddenly, you realize that person you were trying to impress doesn't even care. That status you were chasing doesn't fulfill you. That fear you obeyed had no power at all. Adversity shows you what's essential and what's extra. Your philosophy must include a process of simplification. Focus on what matters. Let go of the rest. Live aligned with your values. Clarity under pressure is a rare trait, and it's only possible when your philosophy is grounded. Section 7. I learned to think under pressure. The average person reacts under pressure. The strong philosopher thinks. Here's the difference: reaction is automatic. Thought is intentional. When the pressure comes, and it will pause, breathe, reflect, ask, what does this situation actually mean? Is the threat real or just emotional? What would the wisest version of me do right now? Every second you spend in thoughtful reflection strengthens your mind against impulsive reaction. Train yourself to think when others panic. That's what leaders do. Section 80. Pressure reveals. It doesn't create. This is important. Pressure doesn't create character. It reveals it. Pressure shows you what's already inside. If you're impatient, pressure will make you snap. If you lack self-belief, pressure will make you doubt. If your values are weak, pressure will make you compromise. But here's the good news: once you see what's inside, you can work on it. Philosophy is the daily discipline of developing your inner world so that when pressure comes, what spills out is wisdom, not weakness. Use pressure as a mirror, not a monster. Section 9E. The power of the comeback mindset. A strong philosophy includes a comeback mindset, one that says, "This setback is setting me up. I'm not done. I'm just getting refined. My future is not based on this moment. It's based on my decisions from this moment." You may lose a round, but the fight is still on. Comebacks are always possible, but only for those who refuse to define themselves by the dip. Every great success story has pressure moments, painful moments, breaking points. But the hero is not the one who avoided pressure. It's the one who used it as fuel. Let your comeback begin with a decision to think differently. Section 10. Your personal pressure philosophy. You need to write your own philosophy. Your personal mental code for handling adversity. Here's an example you can build from. I am a student of life. I expect challenges, but I extract wisdom. I don't avoid pressure. I refine myself through it. I turn setbacks into strategy. I turn doubt into discipline. I am becoming who I'm meant to be. Through fire, not comfort. Make your own. Repeat it. Live it. Because without a personal pressure philosophy, you'll default to the world's fear-based reaction mode. But with one, you rise above. Closing thoughts. Pressure is not the end. It's the invitation. Every pressure point in your life is an invitation, not to give up, but to grow up. You are not here to escape adversity. You are here to extract wisdom from it. The old version of you saw pressure as a curse. The new version of you sees it as a classroom. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. And the preparation will be worth it. In part 3, we'll explore how to lead others with your philosophy, how to influence your environment, and how to become a calm force in a chaotic world. But for now, remember this truth: adversity doesn't build you. Your philosophy through adversity does. In the first 2 parts of this series, we learned how your philosophy can help you rise above pressure, and how adversity can become an advantage if interpreted correctly. Now it's time to go deeper, because it's not enough to build a personal philosophy just for your own benefit. Once you've stabilized your mindset, the next natural step is leadership. And leadership doesn't start on a stage or in a boardroom. It starts in your habits, in your discipline, in your daily thinking. The greatest influence you'll ever have in life starts with how you lead yourself under pressure. And that's what we're going to master in this chapter. Section 1. The misunderstood nature of leadership. People often misunderstand leadership. They think it's about titles, followers, speaking skills, or authority. But here's a better definition: leadership is influence. And influence starts with integrity. If you can't lead yourself, you can't lead anyone else. That's why your internal philosophy matters more than your external charisma. In pressure-filled environments, people don't follow those who shout. They follow those who stand still with calm conviction. So the real test of leadership is this: can you stay grounded while others panic? Can you remain disciplined while others drift? Can you hold truth while others chase trends? The person who leads with philosophy rather than emotion becomes a rare presence, and a powerful one. Section 2. Lead your thoughts before you lead your life. Every decision you make is born from a thought. If your thoughts are chaotic, reactive, scattered, your life will be too. That's why the first act of self-leadership is mastering your internal narrative. Ask yourself, what do I believe about challenge? What story do I tell myself when things get hard? Is that story helping me or hindering me? The person who can interrupt their own negative spiral and shift their mindset in real time has a power most people will never touch. Philosophy gives you a mental framework, so that when pressure hits, you don't collapse into chaos. You rise into clarity. Section 3. Emotional discipline is the silent superpower. Anyone can work when things are going well, but true leaders remain consistent when everything is falling apart. And that takes emotional discipline. The ability to regulate your response without suppressing your emotions. Now listen carefully. This doesn't mean ignoring feelings. It means interpreting feelings wisely. When pressure rises and emotion surges, ask, is this emotion helping me make a better decision? Or is it blinding me from what I need to see? Your emotions are data, not destiny. Strong self-leaders use emotion as input, not instruction. With philosophy, you step outside your feelings, assess them, and then act from principle, not panic. Section 4. Consistency over intensity. In high-pressure environments, people chase intense bursts of motivation, but they burn out fast. Leadership is not built in spurts, it's built in steady rhythms. And here's the truth: consistency is more impressive than intensity. Anyone can show up strong for a day. Few can stay the course for a year. That's why your philosophy must include systems and standards, daily disciplines that keep you aligned even when motivation fades. When you lead yourself through boring days, stressful days, and uninspired days, you prove to yourself and others that you're built for more than hype. You're built for legacy. Section 5. Model. Don't just motivate. Most people want to tell others what to do. But the strongest leaders show others what's possible. Don't just say, stay calm, keep going, be disciplined, live it, breathe it, be the example. Your philosophy becomes contagious when others watch you walk through pressure and stay composed. You don't have to shout to be heard. You just have to live with such depth and focus that people want to imitate your inner peace. In pressure-filled environments, people look for a signal. Be that signal. Let your behavior speak louder than your words. Section 6. Philosophy creates culture. Your personal philosophy isn't just for you. It spills over into every space you walk into. A leader with panic spreads panic. A leader with clarity spreads confidence. A leader with integrity creates a culture of accountability. The energy you bring to a room is shaped by the beliefs you carry in your mind. Want to change your family? Start with your mindset. Want to shift your team? Begin with your discipline. Want to lead your business? Begin by leading your emotions. Philosophy is contagious, and over time, it becomes culture. So if the environments around you are toxic, scattered, or shallow, ask yourself, am I bringing philosophy or pressure into this place? Lead by example, not emotion. Section 7. Make decisions from principle, not pressure. One of the hardest parts of leadership is decision-making under pressure. Most people make choices from fear, urgency, or ego. Philosophical leaders make decisions from principle. When the stakes are high, Remember, don't rush because others are rushing. Don't cave just to avoid criticism. Don't abandon your values for short-term wins. Your philosophy is your compass. It keeps you from getting lost in noise. Write down your principles. Review them often. Let them guide your choices when emotions try to take over. Because decisions made from pressure lead to regret. Decisions made from philosophy lead to respect, from others, and from yourself. Section 80. Your environment reflects your inner world. One of the signs of strong self-leadership is the ability to shape your environment, not be shaped by it. If your surroundings are always chaotic, loud, and rushed, ask yourself, what am I allowing? What am I attracting? What do I need to change? A powerful philosophy takes ownership of space. You decide what influences enter your life. You set boundaries. You curate inputs. You protect your mental clarity like a fortress. Don't wait for the world to become peaceful. Bring peace to the world by first mastering it inside yourself. Section 9A. Anchor yourself in long-term purpose. When pressure rises, most people think short terms. How do I survive today? How do I fix this fast? How do I avoid blame? Philosophical leaders zoom out. They ask, how does this pressure fit into my purpose? What's the long-term cost of this decision? Who am I becoming by how I respond to this? The more you align your daily decisions with your deeper purpose, the more resilient and wise you become. And when your pressure is tied to purpose, it becomes energizing, not exhausting. So define your why. Write it down. Let it shape every response. Section 100. Leadership is built in silence. The most powerful growth happens in quiet moments. When you choose discipline over comfort. When you choose humility over ego. When you choose reflection over reaction. Philosophy is not loud. It's not flashy. It doesn't demand applause. But over time, it builds a character so solid that pressure cannot shake it. So if you're in a season where no one sees your work, your growth, your effort, don't quit. That's where leadership is forged. Lead yourself faithfully, even when no one's watching. That's the soil in which greatness grows. Closing thoughts. Be the calm in the storm. In every generation, the world looks for people who stay steady when others fall apart. You are becoming that person. Not because life is easy, but because your philosophy is strong. Not because you don't feel pressure, but because you respond with power and presence. In Part 4, we'll explore how to build a legacy philosophy, one that lasts beyond you, influences generations, and sustains success through every season of life. But for now, remember this: the most powerful leader is not the loudest. It's the one whose inner world cannot be shaken by outer pressure. And that leader is you. The world is full of momentary victories, quick wins, viral attention, temporary fame. But very few people build something that lasts, something that withstands storms, survives setbacks, and speaks long after they're gone. Why? Because they built with pressure, not with philosophy. Pressure chases applause. Philosophy builds alignment. Pressure fades with time. Philosophy shapes eternity. If you want to build a legacy, not just a career, not just a reputation, you need a philosophy strong enough to endure every season of life. In this final chapter, you will learn how to craft a legacy mindset, how to root your actions in timeless values, and how to leave behind more than achievements. You'll leave behind impact. Section 1. Legacy is not what you leave behind. It's what you leave now. Most people think legacy is about what happens after they die. But legacy is not built in the future. It's built right now, with how you live daily, your words, your habits, your relationships, your reactions under pressure. All of these are bricks in the house called legacy. Legacy is not some final moment of glory. It's the consistent application of wisdom over time. If you want to leave something meaningful, start by living meaningfully. Today, Section 200. Build a philosophy that ages well. Some philosophies are exciting in the moment, but break down with time. Win at all costs burns relationships. Gren 2047 leads to breakdown. Do what feels good, ends in regret. But timeless philosophies endure. Serve others with strength. Pursue excellence with humility. Lead with character over charisma. Your philosophy should get stronger as you age, not become something you outgrow. That's why it's important to regularly reflect. Is my philosophy aligned with truth? Does this still serve my long-term growth? Would I want my children to inherit this mindset? If your philosophy wouldn't be a gift to the next generation, it needs to evolve. Section 3. Legacy thinkers play the long game. Pressure says, now. Philosophy says, forever. Legacy thinkers aren't chasing dopamine hits. They're investing in future dividends. They ask, will this still matter in 5 years? Does this decision move me closer to who I want to become? Will my future self thank me for this? That's how you begin to separate the urgent from the important. Pressure demands immediate reaction. Philosophy provides long-term direction. Live today in a way that your future self respects and your future family remembers. Section 4 saying define what truly matters to you. Without clarity, you'll be pressured by everything. Legacy begins with values. You must define what matters most and commit to living by it, especially under pressure. Ask yourself, what do I want to be known for? What principles am I willing to fight for? What do I refuse to compromise? Write these down. Don't guess. Declare them, because in pressure, you'll be tempted to abandon your values for convenience. Your philosophy is your anchor. Without it, you'll drift. With it, you'll build deep roots. Section 50 die. Pass it on. Multiply the mindset. Legacy is not about what you achieve alone. It's about how many people you elevate with your mindset. A wise person doesn't hoard wisdom. They share it. Multiply it. That could mean mentoring someone younger, writing your principles in a journal, teaching your children to think clearly, living in a way that inspires those around you. Pressure isolates people. Philosophy connects them. You're not just here to rise. You're here to raise others as you rise. That's legacy. Section 60 make peace with the uncontrollable. Legacy builders don't waste energy trying to control everything. They accept uncertainty. They focus on their response, not the outcome. Because the truth is the world will shift, plans will fail, people will misunderstand you, pressure will return. But if your philosophy is stable, you stay steady through it all. Control is an illusion, but clarity is a weapon. And peace comes from knowing who you are and what you stand for, no matter what comes. Build a philosophy that keeps you grounded in a storm. That's what people remember. Section 7a emotional maturity is legacy work. You want to leave behind something powerful. Master your emotions. Not hide them, master them. Why? Because how you respond emotionally under pressure determines the health of your relationships, the strength of your leadership, the depth of your influence. Reacting with anger, fear, or panic is easy. Responding with calm, grace, and wisdom, that's legacy. Emotional maturity is a result of consistent self-leadership, and it becomes the example others follow long after you're gone. Section 80 live full. Leave empty. Don't carry your best ideas to the grave. Don't take your unspoken encouragement, your unwritten lessons, or your unused potential with you. Pour it all out. Every lesson you've learned, share it. Every truth you've discovered, speak it. Every gift you've been given, use it fully. Pressure makes people shrink. Philosophy makes people expand. Legacy is the result of people who chose to live full and leave empty. Don't just survive the race. Finish it strong, with nothing left unsaid, undone, or unshared. Section 9 keep becoming until the end. Legacy is not a finish line. It's a journey of constant becoming. You don't arrive, you evolve. Even in your last season of life, you're still growing, still learning, still sharpening your philosophy. That mindset alone is rare, and it inspires everyone who sees it. Stay curious. Stay humble. Stay committed. Legacy is not built in one moment. It's built in the thousands of decisions to keep becoming more of who you were created to be. Section 100 your name becomes a philosophy one day. When people speak your name, they'll attach meaning to it. The way you treated people, the way you handled adversity, the way you led, the way you lived under pressure. That becomes your philosophy. So ask yourself, what do I want my name to stand for? What will people feel when they remember me? What example am I setting every day? Live now in a way that your name becomes a standard for others to follow, not for pride, but for purpose. Because your life philosophy will outlive you. Make sure it's one worth passing on. Closing chapter. The pressure will fade, but your philosophy will remain. And here we are, the end of this 4-part journey. You've learned how pressure isn't the enemy. Poor thinking is. You've discovered that adversity holds gifts for those who reflect. You've built a mindset for personal leadership. And now you've stepped into the power of legacy thinking. The world will keep pressuring you. But now, you're equipped. Your foundation isn't built on sand anymore. It's built on timeless truth, on intentional reflection, on principle over panic, on philosophy over pressure. And as you move forward, through life, through seasons, through change, remember this: your pressure is temporary. But your philosophy will define everything: your decisions, your peace, your leadership, and your legacy. So choose wisely, live deliberately, and build something that lasts.